Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session, we talked about concept of resource model. In today's session, we will go ahead and start with our next phase of Fiori training, which starts with SAP Fiori Introduction and how to build SAP Fiori apps. This has been many times a question in your mind, Anubhav, what is the difference between UI5 and Fiori? I hope I will be able to answer today this question, the most important question between the difference of UI5 and Fiori. Before we get into this discussion of UI5 and Fiori, let us go ahead and talk about difference between user interface and user experience. So there are two widely used terms in industry. One is called UI and another is called UX. Let's find out the difference. What is the difference between UI, which is nothing but user interface, versus UX, which stands for user experience. Guys, in a simple word, if you say what is the difference between UI and UX, user interface is what users see, and user experience it what user used to do. Okay, so if a user of a software is used to certain functionality, the methodology, the way they are using, that is user experience. And what they see on their screen is the user interface. Our goal is always to make user interface and user experience as close as possible. That's when you can call our application as best in class user experience. Now, in a simple word, if you say you can change UI, you cannot change UX. Yes, guys. You can change a user interface, but you cannot change a user experience. If you really want to see that behavior in a practical world, I would like to demonstrate a nice picture to all of you. What is the difference exactly between UX and UI? If you want to understand more depth in detail, you can always go and watch this picture. Let me just show you that picture, which I have it, and I'm just doing a Google search for that picture. Your screen might have frozen. Just trying to find out that photo. Yes, I got it. Let me share once again. So in a simple word, if you want to understand, you can see here in this picture, there is a predefined path. If somebody wants to reach to a house, there is a given path. There is a given direction. This is your user interface. This is the design you have given to the user. Please use this path to be able to reach to home. But can you see the user experience, guys? This is the user experience or the behavior. So user interface always talks about the design, how a developer is perceiving the software. But user experience is more about the behavior of the user. We need to understand this behavior, guys. If we understand this behavior, we will always try to make the user interface as close as possible to user experience. Is that clear, everybody? What is the difference between UI and UX? In a very simple way, in a very simple manner. This is user experience and this was your user interface. What will happen? What's going wrong? Why didn't you design like this? If you would have designed another path like this, you would have achieved a best in class user experience. Right, guys? Sometimes you see when you call up a credit card department, most of us hold credit card. When we call credit card department, You call them up and they pick up your call after IVR verification. You have given your card number, date of birth, your city, your place, your all 100 information on IVR, the machine. And then ultimately, when you given all this information is fed into the system, and then your call gets connected. And now the executive sitting in front of you is also asking you same information, isn't it? They're also asking same information. That's really bad, right? It's hitting your user experience कि यार अभी तो सब डाला, आधा घंटा लगा के तुमने कॉल कनेक्ट किया और अभी तुम बर्थ डेट पूछ रहे हो वापस से, right? It kinds of irritating. It takes half an hour to connect that call by giving some feeding information, and then finally when it gets connected is again asking these details. That's bad, that's their design. But what could have been the best user experience? The moment you have given or you called up based on your calling mobile number, the credit card company automatically fetches the information who you are, where are you calling from, what is your card number, everything. And that's what American Express have done. I've recently observed this behavior. American Express cards, whenever I call up American Express, they will not ask you these details. They will just read your mobile number from where you're calling. And then based on the mobile number you're calling, they fetch out all the details and they immediately connect your call and just have to verify your date of birth on the executive, and that's it. You can then explain your problem. Time saving, that's the best in class user experience example, guys. This is all about user experience. Hope you guys have got a feel, an idea of a user experience. You can change the user interface, but you cannot change the user experience. User experience is the user behavior. It's talk about user psychology, its behaviors, but the user interface talks about the design, how you're designing. So try to keep these two closer to each other. That's when you're going to get the best in class user experience. Clear, everybody? Are you all clear? What is the difference? There are ample amount of images you can see on the screen. When you look at here, there are ample amount of examples. You can do a Google image search between UI and UX. You'll see lots of images, lots of behaviors, how the UI and UX are different from each other. Such an amazing resource. It's not a SAP term, by the way. It's a general industry term, UI and UX. Okay. Now, that's about user interface and user experience. And now I'll talk about the difference between UI5 and Fiori. So what is Fiori? Fiori is all about user experience. Fiori is all about user experience. The underlying technology build such a UI which is as close as UX. We use SAP UI5 framework. Is that clear, everybody? SAP UI5 is the framework and the technology to build the Fiori applications, to build this Fiori user experience. Is that clear, everybody? The first difference between UI5 and Fiori, all of you, you will not find this in any book. This comes with experience. Are you clear, guys? What is the difference between Fiori? The first difference between Fiori and UI5. UI5 is the technology when you're coding. Which coding technique? Will you use ABAP? Will you use Java? Will you use .NET to code the Fiori user experience? No. You will use SAP UI5 framework. What you've been doing till date is what you will be keep doing next couple of days to build a user experience. If you want to experience yourself or end users to experience Fiori, which is nothing but set of apps delivered by SAP, standard apps. Fiori is also known to be set of standard applications delivered by SAP. If you want to experience that, in that case, you can also go ahead and check it out. So let's go back and we can check it out. Something called SAP Fiori Trial.com. This is where you can experience this UX, guys. Here, everybody, this is where you can experience the Fiori UX. Can you see that? Experience the Fiori UX. See it in action. So now you would see something called a Fiori Launchpad, guys. This is the launching point for all the Fiori applications. Can you see that? That's the launching point for all the Fiori applications. So next interview question, what is the starting point of all Fiori apps? Anybody? What is starting point for all Fiori apps? Anyone? It is SAP Fiori Launchpad. Did you just saw there are tiles? These are called tiles. Okay. These are called tiles. And these tiles are embedded inside what? This whole thing is called Fiori Launchpad. FLP, Fiori Launchpad. Is that clear? You never ever, never ever ever, never ever, never ever ever give a URL of individual application to your users. Never do that blunder. It's a big blunder if you give individual URL. Imagine if I give you 500 URLs, will you be able to remember? If I give you 500 URLs, will you be able to remember? Anybody? If I give you 500 Fiori application URLs, will you be able to remember? Nobody will be able to remember. That's the reason we go with SAP Fiori Launchpad. SAP Fiori Launchpad is the single entry point for all our Fiori applications which are built and deployed in the system. You can see here all the different tiles over here. These are all the tiles which are access point for our Fiori applications. These are all the access points for your Fiori applications. When you click on each tile, it is correspondingly going to load the application under test. And now let me just show you an example. Maybe I want to apply for a leave. So I say create a leave request. So I would just go ahead and say my leave request application, and it will now launch my Fiori application. Wow. Yeah. And I can choose, I would like to go for a leave, probably for, let's say, 6 December, for example. And I say, hey, manager, please help. And I click on send button, and the leave request gets created. So right now it's exceeded the quota for leave request because people are using it. That's the reason. But this is how you can see, guys, you can experience the Fiori Launchpad. That's the beauty, guys. You can always experience SAP Fiori like this. And you see, it's seamless experience. When I going inside the app, coming back, it's taking me back to the Launchpad. And then I can go to another application, approve request, and then I may see, different applications. So this is the best way to experience. Let's say some purchase order apps, because majority of you belongs to SDMM area. So approve purchase order, you see this application. And now you see here this application, I can click and it loads the data on the right side. Yeah. Is it integrated with SAP workflow? Yes, it is integrates with workflow using my inbox app. The My Inbox app is what we use to integrate SAP Fiori with workflow. Workflow creates work items. You see, please release purchase order. I can say approve or reject. And that's my My Inbox Fiori app, standard Fiori app, which integrates with SAP workflow. If you want to know more about SAP workflow, I think you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. On a daily basis, I am updating lots of YouTube videos free to the community. Please check My Inbox app. Search for that. You will find my video always on the top on YouTube. 1 week ago, I have updated a video of how to configure My Inbox app in your company. This is a standard Fiori application. I have configured step by step. I showed how to set up this app for workflow as part of it. please watch this video on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss these important videos, free training videos on YouTube. Please don't miss that. Please subscribe on my YouTube channel today itself. Abhi daba do subscribe button dabao turant so that you don't miss out any important videos like this. Very informative videos, absolutely free on YouTube. Okay, this is what is covered in my YouTube video, and actually Fiori advanced training we cover more about it in details. Okay, so that's about the launchpad. You can experience majority of the apps here. You can see approve, purchase, requisition, purchase order, like this. Lots of Fiori apps are in there, so you can use these Fiori apps, experience them up. And guys, another interesting point I would like to demonstrate, press F12, and now guys you can convert your application into your browser into mobile device. Yes, you can convert your browser into mobile. Click on this button here, toggle device toolbar, and now guys your entire browser turning into mobile. Refresh again and watch out what happens. It turned into mobile. So now you can experience a mobile like view for here. Yeah, just let me make it little bigger. So this is mobile like experience for same app. You can test it without actually using in mobile. You can test it here. You see buttons and everything are adjusted automatically. You can click on back button. Yeah, it takes you to the launchpad and see all the tiles, everything looks, it's responsive in nature. Yeah, it's responsive. And now maybe I click once again to approve purchase orders app. And now see guys, first you see a list here. Guys, you see a list here. When you click on the list, it takes you to the details. What an amazing app. Yeah. So this is the mobile like experience. Same Fiori app can run in mobile. It can run on tablet. It can run on desktop. That's called responsive behavior. It automatically adapting itself based on device. Now watch out. Did you observe that this list was coming on the left side? When we loaded on the desktop, this list was coming on the left side and the details were coming on the right side. That was because of user experience. You see here, since the desktop has a bigger screen size, system understand it nicely. System is so smart, Fiori is so smart, it understand it, and it puts the list control on the left side and detail on the right side. However, in mobile view, you don't have that luxury of width, so it puts the list first, and when user click on an item, it navigates to the detail page. So that's called master detail kind of a Fiori application. We will learn about these templates. These are called templates, or these are also called as Fiori user experience guidelines. So all these we are going to learn, but you guys have to experience a little bit these Fiori apps in the system. You can go to always sapfioritrial.com, absolutely free to experience multiple variety of Fiori applications. Okay, can we display smart forms, Adobe Forms kind of things? Yes, absolutely. I mean, that is also possible. You can expose the smart form content via PDF, via PDF, and you can display that on the user interface. That's possible. Right now I'm not getting into that game, but I just showed you here. It will be too heavy dose of antibiotic right now for you. Okay, so there are controls in UI5 which can display PDF. You can also open in a browser window, another browser window. Maybe soon I will update a YouTube video on the same as well. Okay, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so, so that you don't miss out on such videos. Okay, next question here is, shall we enhance SAP delivered Fiori apps? Yes, we also can do that. That is what exactly covered in my advanced Fiori course. It's called Fiori extension project. Okay, Fiori extension project or Fiori enhancement project, that's covered in my advanced Fiori course. My inbox configuration is also covered in Fiori advanced course. Hurry, the complete end-to-end my inbox application, its configuration, its setup, how to set up it in a new system, how to configure, what are all the customizings needed to set up my inbox app, how to activate it, what are all the catalogs, groups, a complete set of things, including customizing the right side screen for my inbox app using a body implementation is also covered in advanced Fiori course. That's why I'm yelling in almost every session, guys, for your learning. You want to take a competitive advantage in your company, always go target these three courses in 8 months. This is what my promise to you. Next 10 year, your career is set, guys. This is what I'm saying. First, this one, you are on right track. Very good. Second, a BAP on HANA, S4 HANA. Very good. And third one, this one. Please complete these 3 courses back to back. Believe me, you become a full stack developer. ये अलग अलग नहीं है टेक्नोलॉजी, ये बहुत ज्यादा मिक्सअप हो गया इनका. सो यू इफ यू वांट टू बिकम एन एंड टू एंड आर्किटेक्ट और अ फुल स्टैक डेवलपर, ये 3 कोर्सेज तो करना ही करना है 8 महीने में. Make a target of 8 months and you must complete these 3 courses. Again, I repeat, don't buy all 3 together. Never do that. Never buy all 3 together. I am not a salesman. I don't want to sell the courses to you until it is usable for you. I'm not a salesman. Please don't buy courses from me if you're buying it together. Don't do that, please. If you're doing copy paste, don't buy courses from me. If you want to do hard work, please come and buy and go with them one by one. Don't buy all 3 of them together. Complete this one, get some good hands on, move to this one and then move to this one. Like that, you should move, guys. You can also move to advanced Fiori immediately. You can do that. You can directly jump from UI5 to advanced Fiori and then you can learn ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA also. That is also your choice. You can do that. But first step is perfectly fine. This one you've taken a very good step already. This is for absolute beginner. You are just a beginner. This is the right step you guys have taken. Perfect. You have taken the right step. You're already doing this, which is good. After this is done, roadmap is very clear. Either this one और दिस वन, बट टारगेट शुड बी 8 मंथ्स में ये तीनों खत्म कर दो. 10 साल का करियर सेट हो जाएगा. किधर भी नहीं जाओगे, कोई हिला नहीं सकेगा आपको कंपनी में से. एनी प्रोजेक्ट यू कैन फ्रीली गो एंड वर्क, बीट S4 HANA, बीट स्वीट ऑन HANA, बीट any project you can easily go and work. Complete set of technical skills what is required to be able to build any kind of Fiori app you will learn in these 3 courses, including all end-to-end customizing, architect's job, Fiori designer job. All the kinds of job profiles will be covered in all 3 courses. All the kinds of job profile, whether you want to become a Fiori security consultant, you want to become a Fiori architect, you want to become a Fiori UX designer, you want to become an app developer, all the things, you want to become an S4 HANA developer, all this is covered in all 3 courses. This is why I'm giving you the direction, very clear direction. This is what is the major confusion in companies. People say many things but nobody gives right direction. What is the right direction for learning? So this is the right direction, guys, for learning, giving an edge to your career with these new technologies. So that's Fiori UI, Fiori experience, SAP Fiori trial.com, where you can experience this UX. The next thing which I also mentioned, so you see that you can yourself experience this from website http SAP Fiori trial.com. That's where you can experience always. The next one, I have mentioned that when you want to design a best-in-class user experience, you have to follow certain guidelines. In this case, also you saw there was a master section, there was a detail section, right? So there are always certain guidelines which you must follow. If you follow them, SAP is saying, if you follow my Fiori UX guidelines, you are going to give best-in-class experience. We have done it for you. We have got you the best-in-class experience. We have got you the guidelines, and if you follow them, your end user is going to get best in class experience, guys. So the another thing is SAP Fiori, or I would say we must follow SAP Fiori UX guidelines to be able to design the best in class business like Fiori experience. Guys, anybody, do you need a training to use Uber? Have you anybody using Uber cabs or Ola cabs? We all use at some point of time cabs, right? You all are using. Do you need a training to book an Uber cab? Or do you need a training to book an order on Amazon.com? On Amazon, if you're buying something on their mobile app, do you need a training for that? No, no. That's the vision of SAP Fiori. SAP was a kind of a car, and that car, to drive that car, we need a PhD. I remember the days when people used to go months and months of SAP training to learn how to use SAP software, right? Those days are not too far away still, but those days were there where about when I was starting my career, I've gone through about a 3 month of extensive training, and functional people used to go in another extensive training for 2 months, 3 months. But when you see these new companies, Uber, Ola, Amazon, eBay, they're disrupting market. Google, they're disrupting. So they have made things simplified for end user. And that's the technology, power of technology. You don't need a training for that. That's what the SAP's vision. SAP's vision is to make Fiori experience in such a way that the user won't need an additional training to use the applications. That's the vision, guys. This is what it is going ahead with. And that's where S4HANA is penetrating so fast, because majority of the screens, majority of the applications in S4HANA are built on Fiori UX. Fiori user experience is the experience for creating Fiori app, or for creating apps. That's the new structure. That's the new user experience for any product which SAP is coming up with. SAP Hybris, if you've heard about SAP CRM, SAP Business by Design, SAP's S4 HANA, all these products, they all use Fiori as their preferred user experience, as the preferred front end. पूरा front end layer ना Fiori में shift हो गया है अभी. It's all Fiori, Fiori, Fiori. And where do you see these guidelines which we must have to follow to be able to get the best in class user experience? You can again go back and search for SAP Fiori guidelines. Search for that, you'll see the first link itself, experience.sap.com Fiori design. This is where you will find SAP Fiori design guidelines. If you follow these design guidelines, guys, for SAP Fiori, you will definitely going to get best in class user experience. Are you clear, guys? You see here, there's an example. They're showing the same application in mobile, tablet, and desktop. That's what Fiori is all about. What is the underlying technology? What is the coding technology? What is the underlying technology with which we build this experience? Anybody? What is the technology you will use? Will you use Java programming? Will you use .NET programming to get in this best in class experience? You will use SAP UI5 framework. Perfect answer. That's what you're going to use. And now you just click on explore button. Watch out. It is showing you some examples, best in class examples for every type of control. ये देखो 3D type के example भी हैं यहाँ पे. Such an amazing stuff. Yeah, such an amazing stuff. So you can see all the loading indicator, busy indicator, lots of examples are there for you to try out. You can experience the Fiori UX. You see, these are all analytical examples which they are showcasing. What an amazing stuff they are building up. And the underlying technology to build all that is actually SAP UI5 framework. So if you go to resources, you see design stencils. There are a lot of design stencils which you can refer to be able to design. This is all for designers work actually. So Fiori user experience is all for designers work. And then what we can do is, ultimately, if you see, we want to explore how to use the UI elements. You can explore them up here. So whichever UI element you saw in SAP UI5 version, you see latest SAP UI5 version 1.58. So they're all used by SAP UI5 framework. So ultimately, you're going to use these controls from UI5 framework to be able to get this best in class. अब इसको कहाँ रखना है, कैसे रखना है? That's what Fiori design guideline tells you. So if you're putting a breadcrumb button, where you should ideally put? That's what this guideline is telling you. That what is the breadcrumb button does? What does it mean? How should it be used? Where should it be placed? All these are guidelines. That's what Fiori is all about. It's about user experience, experiencing, getting the user interface as close to as UX. Then second thing is, it's all about guidelines. It's all about standard Fiori apps delivered by SAP which are responsive in nature. Together with all of this becomes Fiori. The technology to build the apps is still SAP UI5 framework. I hope, am I clear today with the difference between UI5 and Fiori? It took about 30 minutes for us to clarify, but I hope it's clear today, guys. What is the difference between UI UX and what exactly is Fiori all about? And where do you access all the Fiori apps from? Fiori Launchpad, not covered in this course. Fiori Launchpad, you need to learn Fiori Launchpad, Launchpad Designer, and then a lot of other stuff. That's something which is not covered in this course. It's covered in advanced Fiori course. Let's move on then and see how will our design be impacting now. What is the guideline? So now together with learning, I will embed this learning experience or design guideline experience within our learning itself. So you don't have to explicitly go and look at the guidelines. My course is designed in such a way that when you learn SAP Fiori with me, you will get this experience naturally. Naturally आ जाएगा आपके अंदर. आपको जाके experience करना नहीं है, आपको जाके पढ़ना नहीं है. So this is what we will do in our course. So let's look at the new structure, the structure of our application, how it should be. So right now still we are testing the app in the web ID. We have not yet deploying it to the SAP system. That's the reason our launching point, starting point is still index.html. This index.html, now we are going to start something with called an app view, guys. We will start with something called an app view. So always when you, this is the guideline. Okay, again I'm coming to the guideline. This is the guideline which says your index.html should launch always something called app.view.xml. This app.view.xml should have something called a container control inside. Okay, it should have something called container control inside. So this is the main view, app view. Inside this you will have a container control. What is a container control? A container control contains views inside. Okay, it contains views inside. There are two container controls which are majorly used, app and split app. We will talk about split app later. Right now you understand there's an app container control which we will be using, and we will only be using SAP M library. We'll not use SAP UI Commons library at all, because that is the library which is obsolete and deprecated. You might see some old projects in your company where they may be using sap.ui.commons library. We should not use that. Okay, so now we always use index.html. From there we always launch an app view. The app view will have a container control, and this container control we are going to embed our views. So if you want to have two views and want to do navigation between two views, let's say I have a view 1 and I have a view 2. So that's what we will be doing. We will then be embedding these two views inside this container control, which is inside the app view. Okay, clear everybody? This is our new structure of the app as per the guidelines. Is that clear everybody? How your app should look like, how your app should be structured. You should have index.html which should create an app view object. App view should have a container. This container should contain multiple views as you wish to. Now guys, one important thing about navigation, how navigation between these two screens happens between each other, right? That's a question. That is something which we would like to more interested. So Anubhav, how will you navigate between these two views? Yeah. And how, when you embed two views inside this app control, don't they override each other? No guys, it won't happen like that. I will explain you that. So now to understand that, let's talk about two brothers. Okay, brothers. Usually we see brothers fight with each other. There is a brother 1, brother 2. Now, let's take an example. The most reputed family in India. You must be knowing that whom I am talking about. These two brothers, they have fight with each other. Okay, right. Your guess is right. I can't name it. So there are two brothers, and these two brothers are fighting with each other. Yeah. So these two brothers are fighting with each other. But sometimes the brother 1 has some work to be done by brother 2. And similarly, brother 2 has some work to be done by brother 1. They cannot live without each other. They need each other's help also. Okay. So brother 1 and brother 2, they both are brothers. They're fighting. They don't talk to each other directly. Now, if they want to get some work done, what do they do? What do they do if they want to get some work done? No, no secretary, no middleman. If brother 1 wants some money from brother 2, what do he do? He go to parent and say, Mama, can you please ask brother 2 to get this work done for me, or to get this thing done for you? Now the parent is same for everyone, right? Parents, our parents, they treat all our siblings equally. Parents never differentiate between the children's. They treat all of their children's equally, right? So now brother one goes to parent and parent says, hey, parents please ask brother two, वो आपकी सुनेगा, उसको बोल दीजिए ना मेरे लिए ये काम कर देगा. वो डायरेक्ट बात नहीं करेगा, उसको काम करवाना पेरेंट्स के पास जाएगा. So he goes to parent, parent then say मेरा काम है, right? This is what our parent does. We know that it is his work or her work, but parents बोलते मेरा काम है, मेरे लिए कर दो बेटा, प्लीज. इमोशनल ब्लैकमेल. सो पेरेंट सेज मेरे लिए कर दो बेटा, please do it for me. This is what parent does. And then this guy does the work and same thing story repeats. When this guy want to get some work done, he goes to parent and then parent is same for everyone. Parents say मेरे लिए कर दो बेटा. Is that clear everybody? So there is no direct connection between these two, but there is a somehow via the parent there is an indirect connection. Why I told this story, so that you can remember this concept, and that's exactly happening here. Who is the parent of your children views? Who is the parent of view 1 and view 2? Anybody? Who is the parent of view 1 and view 2 in this example? They are two brothers. Who is the parent? The parent is this container control. This container control, which is inside the app view, is the parent. Okay. So if we want to navigate from view 1 to view 2, directly nahi kar sakte ho. What will you use, guys? You can't do a direct talk between these brothers. What will you do? Who will help you to navigate from view 1 to view 2? Who knows about all the children's? Who knows about the behavior of their children is the parent. So this container control is helping you to navigate from view 1 to view 2 and view 2 to view 1. Is that clear everybody? Who will help you to navigate from view 1 to view 2? It's the app control object which is the parent for both the views. ये समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? अगर ये समझ में आ गया तो I can proceed and I can show you now this example. We'll create our first Fiori application with a navigation between two views. Ready? Now another interesting point, remember view should always return page object. Okay, this is another guideline. Every view in UI in Fiori when you're building Fiori app, every view must return a page object, and this page object should go and aggregate with the app control. Let's go ahead and build this app. Our first Fiori app with navigation between two views. I'm gonna go back and build it now. Let's go back to web IDE. Let's start with our first Fiori application, guys. I'm gonna right click, create a new folder. I'll say my Fiori app, and let's create up an index HTML as usual. We're going to create first of all a web app folder. That's a standard process for UI5 framework. And now I'm just going to get something like an index HTML in there. So let's bring it up. We already know index HTML. Let's give a namespace. This time I'm namespacing is oft.fiori, onlinefiori.com.fiori. What is the month right now? It's October, November. So OFT Fiori November. That's my namespace I'm giving, guys. So wherever I have this, I will give this namespace. Yeah. So that's my namespace. Watch out now. I can come back to web app folder, right click and say new, and I'm creating an SAP UI5 view, guys. I'm not writing now views and controller manually because you guys are comfortable with it now. You have seen writing line by line code. So we can now use this option to choose and create our view. First of all, let's choose the view, and I'm going to give the namespace as usual, FT Fiori November, and I'm going to name my first view as app view. This is the starting view. It's of type XML view. Click on next and finish. You can see a view and controller folder is created with an app view. Do you remember this picture? The launching point from index HTML is what? It's the app view. Is that clear, everybody? The launching point is app view for the index HTML. So let's launch it up. Here you come and just mention that my launching pad or my launching view is app view, please. Okay. It's like your main application page. Within that page, you have a container and that container contains other views. Watch out slowly. Don't take heavy dose right now. Don't over engineer. Don't overthink. Just watch out this session. You will park your question till the end. We will answer all the questions, but just watch this. How am I building it? I'm following now guidelines. These are all the guidelines. How you should create Fiori app. So we created an app view. We created and we are now just instantiating and placing it in the DOM. Perfect. Nice. First part is done. Now create two more views, view 1 and view 2 quickly. Right click on the web app, again new, view. And I'm going to create again namespace and I'm going to create my view 1. Click on next. You see view 1 and view 1 controller is created. Let's create a view 2 also. Click on view 2, namespace, view 2. And you'll see the view 2 gets created. So likewise now you see app, view 1 and view 2. All three have been created successfully. Is that clear everybody? How you create view 1, view 2 and app view. Are you guys all clear? How simple it was? We created that. Nice. Now it's time to go ahead and learn. We just created this and this, but we didn't integrate any of the things. Clear everybody? We just created app view, view 1 and view 2. अब ये कहीं से भी connected नहीं है. How will they connect? What is their connector? What is the connector of brothers? Where is that connector? Anybody? What is that we are missing in this picture? In this picture, I created these three views. What is the connector for these three views? Who will tell me? It's this app container control. Perfect answer. कहाँ बनाएंगे इसको? Where will we create this app container control? Inside where will we create this app container control? Look at the picture. You can tell easily. Where will you add this app container? You will add in the app view. Don't confuse with the names. View का नाम भी app है, container control का नाम भी app है. Don't confuse. Don't confuse between these two things, guys. View name is also app and the container name is also app. Okay, both are app. So don't confuse. We're gonna add this container control, app control inside the app view now. Only app view में डालेंगे. Let's open the app view. और मैं क्या देखता हूँ खुदा वाओ मैं क्या देखता हूँ भगवान खुद मेरे 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 घर में आ गए हैं already it has come you can see the app object is already part of the view can you see that the inside the app view the app container is already there you can check always the documentation of this app control you can always go to SAP UI5 go to sap ui5.hanaondemand.com go to EP reference and search for app and you see SAP M app control you can see this is your container control. You can see the parent class is nav container. That's how you know that it's a container control. Okay. That's how you know it's a container control because the parent class is nav. And now this is your app container. Look at its aggregation. So no aggregation. What do I do? I don't see any aggregation here. What do I do? Anybody? I don't see any aggregation. What do I do? Go to the parent class. Absolutely. Go to parent class and now you see an aggregation here and you will see now here something called pages aggregation. Is that clear everybody? Pages aggregation. Are you all clear what is pages aggregation? Are you all clear what is pages aggregation? It's an aggregation of your app control. यही तो डाला हुआ है कुछ नहीं किया हुआ है केवल एग्रीगेशन डाला हुआ है ये देखो app control pages aggregation that's pages aggregation. I don't want this. I'll remove it right now. And I just keep the ID of this app control. That's it. Is that step one clear to everybody? How to create app view and add an app container control with its ID app. Okay. Now let's move on. Now if you go and observe view 1 and view 2, यहाँ पे भी app control बना दिया है इसने अपने आप. You see, within view 1 and view 2 also system has created app control. We don't want that. We just need what? Anybody? Look at the picture again. Does view 1 and view 2 should have an app object? Does view 1 and view 2 should have an app object? Does view 1 and view 2 should have an app object? Does view 1 and view 2 should have an app object? No. What should it have? What should it have, guys? Come on. What should it have? What should it have? Come on. What should it have? What should it return? What should it have? What should it have? It should just have a page object. सब कुछ सामने लिखा हुआ है आपके आप देख नहीं पा रहे हो सब कुछ आपके सामने पड़ा है आप देख नहीं पा रहे हो There is everywhere treasure at front of you. आप देख नहीं पा रहे हो. Everything is at front of you. I've written it already. Page object. It should just have a page object. Let's come back. Remove this time the apps and just return and keep the page object. That's your page object, guys. That's the page object that view 1 will have. Similarly, I'll just title this up as view 1. And now I go back to view 2. And now I just come here and I just put this as view 2. Now I'm right now not putting any content inside. Okay. I am keeping the content empty. I'm not putting any content inside the views. So I have got my two views with page object. I've got my app view with app object. Is that clear, guys? Or is this clear, guys, how you design with Fiori UX? Are you guys clear? ये बना दिया, ये डाल दिया, ये बना दिया, ये डाल दिया, ये बना दिया और ये डाल दिया. Are you clear? All 6 entities which we created, all 6 things which we created, each has 2 things. Are you all clear till this step? Now it's all about orchestration. How do you orchestrate this? Watch out. Watch out. You have to now create these 2 view objects. Everything is an object. Remember that Sunda Fox? Everything is an object. Let's create these 2 view objects. Come back to index.html. And now I'm going to create my view objects var view1 equals to new sap.ui.view. ID view1, curly braces. Please give me the view name. My namespace is onlinefioritrainings.com, fiori.november.view.view1. That's my view name. किसी को confusion है कोई? ये view name कैसे बना? How did this view name is created? Very easy. That's your namespace. .view folder. .view1 is the view name. The type of the view, however, is XML. Let's use a constant provided by UI5, SAP UI core. MVC class view type is a constant structure which has a constant called XML view. If you understand this piece of code, why not speed up your development and do copy paste? Please do copy paste. Speed up your development. Create the view 2 object, ID view 2 and view 2. Are you guys clear how I created my app object, how I created my view 1 object, how I created my view 2 object? Okay, this code gets executed, creates it. Now, we need to get an object of this particular app control, guys. Very important. We need to get this control object. So you already have the view object of the app view. If you see this O Anubhav, it's creating an object of this app view. The object आपके पास already है. From a view object, if you want to get a control object, which API will you use? From a view object, if you want to get a control object, which API will you use? Which API will you use if you want to get the control object from view object? Who will tell me which API will we use if you want to get control object with view object? Anybody? रोज तो use कर रहे हो, रोज use कर रहे हो. Daily you are using it. You are using daily this API to get the control object. Perfect answer. It's the view object dot by ID. किसी ने भी सही आंसर नहीं किया. Not even a single person. Your view object is this. If I want the object of this app control whose ID is ID app, you just have to come back and let's do this. I can say var app object equals to my view object dot by ID app. Is that clear, everybody? Are you not doing this daily? Get the object of any control inside the controller. OView, we are using OView.byId to get the object of the control which you wish to get. Now you got the app object. If you remember, the app object has pages aggregation, which means there will be some methods to add the pages dynamically. So go to methods and you will find add page method here. This is the add page method to add the pages inside the view. Let's add both the views now inside the app. अब ये parent बन गया. Add page dot add page again. So I'm doing cleaning in JavaScript and I'm adding both my views here. Is that clear, everybody? How you are loading your app control your container control with both the views. Now the question comes, Anubhav, which view will display first? Which view will display to user? Anybody? Can you tell me? Which view will display to user? It will be view 1. The view which you add first will be displayed to the user by default. Okay, you can also decide that which view you want to display. You can use a property. Go back to documentation. There is a property called default view property. I forgot that. Let me go back to the app object itself. You have to go to documentation for app object. Yes, go to properties and you will see here there will be a property to say which view we want to display. It's called view. Somewhere we can see that. Let me just check. There is a property definitely we can use. It with default transition name. Let's go to even more parent object. Okay, not there. That's a control object actually. So there is something called set. Yes, here it is. It's association initial page. You can see initial page. It again receives an object. We can set initial page. We can say this view will be displayed by default. By default, it displays the first view. Okay, it displays the first view which you added. But if you want to change, you can change it by set initial page association. You can do that. Anyway, I'm not doing right now. I just save this and watch out now when I run my application. Watch out guys what happens. Let's execute our Fiori app and you would see magic happening on the screen. Let's come back and give a mobile like view. Run this app. Watch out. Wow, amazing. Congratulations guys. You have got your first Fiori user experience, first Fiori app on your screen. Are you guys clear? What did we do? Step by step, line by line, no copy paste of code, referring the Fiori guidelines. Are you guys clear how to create our first Fiori app? It is showing up the first view by default. As I mentioned, the one which you add the first to the container will display the first. जो बच्चा पहले पैदा होगा वही तो पहले दिखेगा. Okay, that's exactly what is happening. It has loaded the first view by default. And now watch out, we want navigation. Who will help you to navigate from one view to another view? Anybody? Do you remember my example which I gave you just 30 minutes back? Do you have that 30 minutes memory with you? Who will help you to navigate? Perfect answer. Yamini has got it right. Is the parent which will help you. Who is the parent for both the views? Tell me who is the parent for both the views. Who is the parent for both the views? No, app view. That's your wrong assumption. App view parent nahi hai. App view parent nahi hai. Again I ask my question. Again I repeat my question. Who is the parent for both the views? Who is the parent for both the views? Who is the parent for both the views? It's the container object. Yes. It's the container object. वापिस कोड देखो. Where did I added my views? Inside which I added in container. मैंने अनुभव में ऐड नहीं किया है. अनुभव is the view object. मैंने अनुभव में views को ऐड नहीं किया है. मैंने container में ऐड किया है. Watch out here. I have got the container from the अनुभव and inside the app I have added this. So container is the parent. Anubhav is your view, app view object. Inside that there is a container which is app container. In that app container I've added my views. I hope it's clear everybody. So that's my design. And now what we will do navigation. So let's put a button in one view. Each view let's put a button. So यहाँ पे आ जाओ and I'll put a button control. I say text property. Okay, show me. And I say press. And I say on show me. You can also use anything. And then that's it. And now we will write a controller method later on. I'm going to use this button control. And now let's create a view 2 also. Let's put a button in view 2 called back button. I'm just going to say on back. Clear? So we put buttons inside both the views now. Let's come back and refresh. So at least you get the button here. Show me. But oops. क्या हो रहा है जब मैं क्लिक कर रहा हूं जा नहीं रहा है अनुभव My code is not working on Uber. It's not taking me to view 2. What is wrong, guys? Why it's not taking to my student to the next view? अरे यार कोड तो करो, कोड तो करो यार, कोड ही नहीं किया आपने. Just added the button in the view. Where is the method implementation? Nowhere, right? Where is the event handler for this event? Not there, right? Got to put it in the view 1 controller. Let's put it in here in the view 1 controller. Just come here, function, curly braces, and now here, what are all the steps? Step number 1, guys, get the object of parent for both views. Who is the parent? Anybody? Who is the parent? Anybody who is the parent for both the views? Please tell me who is the parent. Anyone who is the parent is the container control. Very good answer. How do you get the parent object? Very easy. You can say var or app equals to, you can say my current view object this dot get view dot get parent. Are you clear, guys? This is how you got the parent object. Your app object have come. मेरा current view का object उसका parent कौन है? मैं parent के पास चला गया. मेरे दूसरे भाई से ये काम करवा लो. This is what am I saying? I'm saying please get me the current view object. Please go to the parent. Who is the parent of my current view? I'm in the view 1. Who is the parent? Is the app control. Got the app control object, and now step 2. Call the method to navigate another view by passing ID. ID of the second view to pass is equal to, and I'm passing an ID now. Please pass the ID of the view 2. What is ID of view 2? Let's bring it on. ID view 2. That's the ID of view 2. I'm just pressing that up over here. Is that clear, guys? 2 steps, line by line, every single line of code. Are you clear how to navigate to second view, which is part of same parent? Both belongs to same parent. They are both children of same parent. One of the children is going to parent and asking, please, can you do something for me? Okay. You cannot do get source. If you do get source, it will give you button object. Okay. This dot get source will give you button object. We want the view object. View ka parent hai wo. Okay. Because this is event handler for button. It will give you button object if you do get source. So you have to say get view object, uska view ka parent, which is app control. And please take me to view to same step, guys. You got to repeat in the view to controller on back. Let's do that. On back. Absolutely same, just the ID will change. Watch out the magic. Come back, refresh the page. Abhi, if the view 1 wants to go to view 2, brother 1 wants to talk to view brother 2, what they have to do? Anybody? Brother 1 wants to get some work done by brother 2, what they have to do? Anybody? What they have to do? They have to tell the parent. On click of this button, we are telling the parent, please navigate to view 2. Boom, there you go. You can see on your screen, it's navigating to the second view. And voila, that's my mobile like app. Mobile में ऐसे ही तो चलता है सर. यही तो mobile app है. Congratulations, your first mobile app with SAP Fiori is ready with navigating between 2 screens. How simple it is when you know the SAP UI5 framework and Fiori UX guidelines. How simple it is to design a Fiori app. It is simple than a app. In your life, any programming language which you learned, it is easier than that. Yes, believe me or not, it's easier than that. Whatever programming language you learned in your life, it is actually easier than that. Is that clear, everybody? Can you see how to create a first Fiori app with Fiori guidelines and how to embed it? Time for your question. I'm done with the session. Can you deploy the app in my mobile? There is something called SAP Gateway or SAP Mobile Platform. We will learn SAP Gateway here. And then once it is done, you can then open your SAP Gateway URL in something called Fiori Client. There is a free application available on Android store called Fiori Client. Search for that app today on Android store or iPhone store. Android, it's called Fiori Client. When you load that app Fiori Client, it will ask you a URL. The moment you give the URL of this app in the Fiori client, it will load it in the mobile. Okay, that's how you can run the app in the mobile. But that is not our job. Our job is just to build the Fiori app and deploy it into the gateway. That's our job, which we will be doing as part of the current course. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody before we close today's
Anubhav,
class? Yes, please.
yeah, I'm Pawan. I have one query regarding resource model. Yesterday in bundle URL, you have given only i18n.properties, but later you created i18n_h1, but you didn't change that bundle URL. So that is not required.
Yeah, that's not required because what happens is we have to tell my bundle exists where. Where is my bundle? I have already told, hey, your bundle exists at this path. This is the path where your bundle exists. This resource model is so smart that based on the URL parameter SAP UI language, it picks up the correct file automatically. Initially, it just need the default bundle URL, default path for the file where the default texts are loaded. That's what it initially need. It assumes that it's inside a folder, and in this folder you will have language specific files which can be used. Understood? So we don't have to tell
Got it.
that. It's picked up always based on URL parameter, which we saw, SAP UI language parameter. Based on that, it's picking up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Anubhav.
Thank you. How the
I
responsive app created with same UI5 coding? What is the piece of code that creating the Fiori app? The piece of code here to create Fiori app is the guideline. The guideline which we are following by creating page objects. Okay. By creating app object. These are all the guidelines we are following. SAP Fiori guideline says this is how you should structure your app. If you do this, you're going to get best in class experience and create a mobile app like that. This is the guideline we are following. The guidelines are making it possible. This piece of code is making it possible. Every piece of code which we put here is making it possible. There is a lot more to come. You will learn a lot of different style of things like split app. When I show, it will create a master detail. So that is too heavy dose right now. Right now, just follow this. You can always also find the guideline. Just go to Fiori guidelines. And when you go to guidelines, you can search here app control guideline. So for SAP Fiori, what is the guideline? And search here for app control. Yeah, just search for that. And whatever I taught you today, how you should structure your application, absolutely same way you will find it here. You see here, you should have an app control. Then you should have objects, other view objects. Yeah, and there will be you will be navigating between these objects, and it's actually giving a a, a glimpse of home page as of your launch pattern. From there, you are launching app objects, and then you're navigating between the apps. So you see screen flow. See home, then you have app one, app two. Like this, they are showing you, navigation within the app, what should be done. Yeah, using the app control object. This is all the guideline. I've read through these guidelines and I came out with the final crux in a easier way so that you can understand. If you start reading guideline like this for every control, you will not be never be able to get into development. You're getting the point. You see how much theory they have written here. Too much things to understand and read through. You don't want to do that probably. Yeah. You want an easier, quick way to learn how to build these up and then how to structure our content. And that's it. You don't have to do anything. That's what my training is doing. I don't have to take you to these guidelines line by line, reading this whole theory. You can easily build the Fiori apps the way you follow me. If you follow these things which I am giving in the PPT, that's it is enough to create a Fiori app which brings you most close to user experience what SAP is also offering with their Fiori apps. Cool. That's it for the day. Thank you so much for joining today's class. See you on Monday morning. Have a nice day. Goodbye.